Alright, I think we'll do a little bit of work to the Cadillac today. What I want to get done is make the turn signal work on the left hand side here. That'll make it work consistently. Every now and again it will light up, but I think I need to get inside here and clean some contacts. So I'll grab a light and we'll start pulling this apart and get the steering wheel off and hopefully get down to here and clean some contacts and see if we can make it work. Alright, I've disconnected the battery just in case. Probably don't need to, but got that done, and now we got to get this horn ring off. And it looks like behind here there's a screw on either side, and then we'll pull this horn ring off, and behind there's some more screws. I think I'm going to find a better light up this whole interior, and then we'll get to pulling it apart. That's a really nice looking horn ring, or the horn button. Yeah, some screws in there. I actually may not have to pull that off. Might be able to get the puller in there without taking the horn ring off. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, we got a little bit of light in here now, and got screwdrivers ready, and we'll pull that horn ring out of there and hopefully be able to get the steering wheel out. Hopefully you'll be able to see something when I do it too. Nice. Alright, we got the horn buttons off and everything, and we can kind of see what we're doing. I went ahead and loosened that nut. One thing I'm going to have to be careful of is this contact here for the horn. That's like $100 for the whole wire. So I can't just poke my puller in the middle there. So what I think I'm going to do, rather than try to figure out where it goes and pull it out, is put a socket over it and use my puller like that, and hopefully that'll work. And they'll be able to pop the steering wheel out. Hopefully. We'll see how it works anyway. And that way I don't have to fish that thing through. And hopefully won't break it. Might have to find a smaller socket. Alright, we got a smaller socket in there. it does. Just turning that nut. Not what I was trying to do. Alright, you can see my lovely contraption here. I had to jam a screwdriver in between the nut and the bolt here on the puller to keep the nut from spinning, and it seems to have worked. Steering wheel popped back a little bit, so let's take this off and should be able to just pull the steering wheel away. Yeah, no problem. Perfect. Doesn't look like I damaged anything, so I like it. Alright, we got the steering wheel out of the way now, and I think there's just 4 screws in the back there, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And I should be able to pull that whole thing out. I already removed the wiring for the turn signal switch. So, those 4 screws, and I should be able to pull that whole collar off, I hope. So let's get them out of there and see if it works. Right. Try to be very careful with those wires, because if you think $100 for a little horn button wire is bad, try finding a turn signal for a 59 to 61 Cadillac. It ain't pretty. Alright, I got the collar off, and that switch is what I want to get to, so I'm going to go ahead and take those screws out and take this big piece off and out of the way, make it a little easier to work. I don't know if I'll fish these wires through the column or not, because it's probably going to be fairly difficult, because the plug-ins are right about that size to get through that hole. So I don't know if I want to mess with that or not, but we'll get the switch off of that, and there won't be so much weight, and there won't be much in the way, so maybe we can get a better look at it. Alright, I got my switch disconnected so I can actually work on it here. And I do believe this metal piece will come off, and that should allow me access to the contacts in there. I think that's how it works anyway. So I guess, see if we can pull it off of there without breaking anything and see what's inside. Alright, there's what the inside of the switch looks like. I took off the little plastic top here and the lever switch and the metal piece, and underneath that you've got your contacts and a couple of springs to bring it back. And I don't think you'll be able to see it on here, but there is a little bit of green on these contacts here, so I'm going to have to pull all that out and start cleaning it up and see if I can make that work. Alright, I got one of the contacts pulled out. You can kind of see on the end there, that's where it makes contact, and it's all kind of gummed up and nasty. So we'll clean that off, and I guess I'll have to pull the springs out and pull that other one out and clean that up too, and then probably put some dielectric grease in there when we put it back together, and should work. Alright, I got the switch all cleaned up and back in there. Gave me a little bit of a heart attack when I had it apart, and I was putting one of them little springs back in, and it went flying, but luckily it landed by my feet and I found it, so I was able to get it back together. And it seems to work. Let's go ahead and turn the key on and see if the turn signal actually works. Yeah, we got one over there. Got one there. Nice. And it works every time now. Perfect. Before, when you would try to use the turn signal, it would work every once in a blue moon. So now we can indicate when we're making a turn. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the steering wheel off for now, because the next thing I got to do is take out that instrument cluster and put another one I've got in there. And that means I got to take out pretty much the whole top of the dash here, so it's going to be a lot easier with that steering wheel out of the way. So I'll just clean up all my junk and put it aside for now, and when I'm ready, I'll start pulling the dash.